Nothing makes me happier than a quiet, humble lifestyle. Living humbly doesn't mean living poorly, it means living with intention. When your needs are low, your freedom is high. It means you can say no to that soul crushing job because you aren't tied to a massive mortgage. I've completely changed how I eat and enjoy food. I have found that intermittent fasting works well for me, and I actually eat the same healthy meal every single day, and somehow that works for me. A humble life means you're okay with not being everywhere at once. We need to be fiercely protective of the time we give away. Being busy is often just a distraction. Deep roots require space and time, which you only have if you aren't spreading yourself too thin. When you're grateful for what you have, you tend to stop looking for what's missing. A simple life allows you to be more present for the people you love. Minimalism is the intentional promotion of things we most value and the removal of everything else that distracts us from them. It's a journey toward a more meaningful and focused existence. The less you own, the easier it is to move through the world, both literally and figuratively. If I wanted to pack up and go tomorrow, I could. And that feeling of lightness is everything. You're no longer an anchor to your own possessions. Humble living often leads to better sleep because your mind isn't racing with a to-do list related to all your stuff. A sparse, clean bedroom is a psychological signal to the brain that it's time to rest. You're not surrounded by clutter that's silently screaming for your attention. It's important to remember that simple doesn't mean easy. It takes a lot of discipline to choose the path of less in a world that is constantly screaming for more. But the mental clarity that comes with it is everything. Living with less means you have more to give to others, whether that's time, money, or energy. The most beautiful things in life aren't things at all. They're the connections we make and the peace we find. A humble, minimalist life brings us to our core and purpose for being here. Buying used or vintage isn't just a budget move, it's a way to find character and truly special pieces. You're opting out of the sterility of shopping malls and department stores. Minimalism helps you realize that organized clutter is still clutter. You can buy all the pretty bins and labels that you want, but if you don't need the stuff, you're just managing messes. The goal is to own so little that you don't even need an organizational system. Learning to appreciate things without feeling the need to own them. Ownership is often just a burden disguised as a privilege. A humble life is a focused life where you've cut out the could-dos to focus on the must-dos. It's about doing a few things exceptionally well rather than a dozen things poorly. This focus leads to deeper accomplishments. It's a return to the basics and wonder that we usually overlook in our rush. Simple living allows you to rediscover simple joys. The humblest people I know are often the most confident and happiest. They don't need to flash a watch or a car to feel important. Their value comes from their character, their kindness, and their actions. Minimalism encourages you to finish what you start before moving on to the next thing. Instead of a shelf full of half-read books, you finish one and truly digest its lessons. Living humbly means you're always a student, always looking to learn from everyone you meet. You realize that even the person that seems to have nothing does have a story that you can learn from. It keeps you curious and deeply connected to the human experience. Minimalism is the ultimate tool for clarity during life's transitions. When you aren't bogged down by stuff, you can pivot your life much more quickly when a new opportunity arises. You're agile, you're light, and ready for whatever comes next. The most valuable thing you can own is your own time. Every dollar you don't spend on junk is a minute you don't have to work to pay for it. When you realize that, stuff starts to look a lot like a prison and very unnecessary. A simple lifestyle naturally leads to a more mindful way of being. You start noticing the details, the texture of your shirt, the taste of your water, and the sound of the wind. Minimalism in your work life means focusing on the tasks that actually move the needle. It's about avoiding busy work and meetings that could have been emails. It's about working smarter so you have more energy for the life you live outside of work. You don't have to fill every second to be a productive human being. Just doing something because you enjoy it, like doodling or walking, is enough. Simple living isn't a destination you reach. It's a practice you return to every day. You are constantly re-evaluating what's adding value and what's just taking space. A humble person is easy to talk to because they aren't waiting for their turn to talk. They're genuinely interested in your story and your perspective. The most profound realization of a simpler life is that you don't actually need much to be happy. In fact, less is the secret to live. It gives you freedom of the mind and soul. Suddenly, the music of your life is crystal clear. You can hear your own intuition and your own desires again. You're no longer drowning in the white noise of the machine in society. A simple life allows you to be more spontaneous because you aren't tied down. You're light on your feet and ready for adventure. Remember, we're only here for such a short time. Why spend that time chasing things that just doesn't matter? A simple life is a way of making sure that what does matter gets the best of us. Have you ever noticed how the most content people usually have the least to prove? I'll be over here enjoying the quiet, the space, and the simple things.